Today is Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. Thanks so much for joining me. I want to begin with the reason why Donald Trump is dog whistling law and order to suburban white women. There's a clip from Laura Ingraham last night where he went full. I mean, listen, let's call it what it is. It's full on racist. He's trying to scare white suburban women. As you listen to this clip, you realize that he's trying to avoid saying white women, but it's clearly the subtext of what he's saying, trying to scare them into fearing the idea of low-income housing in their neighborhoods, turning their neighborhoods into ghettos. Well, he didn't say ghettos, but he may as well have said it. It's almost as if no one expects us to read between the lines. But here's the clip. I want to play the clip, and then I want to play a response. There's a response from CNN where six Donald Trump supporters, 3 of them no longer support him, really went back and forth and argued over Donald Trump's racism. And then obviously there's some polling to show you this is exactly why he's geared his entire message into scaring suburban white moms. Take a listen in.
But are the suburbs in danger? Because they say that's fear-mongering on the part of
I know the
Republicans.
suburbs. Look, Westchester was ground zero, okay, for what they were trying to do. They were trying to destroy the suburban, beautiful place, the American dream, really. They want low-income housing, and with that comes a lot of other problems, including crime. May not be nice to say,
You're not saying all
but
poor
I'll
people
say
are
it.
criminals, though.
No, I'm not saying that at all, but it does. There is a level of violence that you don't see. So you have this beautiful community in the suburbs, including women, right? Women, they want security. I ended where they build low-income housing project right in the middle of your neighborhood. I ended it. If Biden gets in, he already said it's going to go at a much higher rate than ever before. And you know who's going to be in charge of it? Cory Booker. That's going to be nice, okay? So I think that women are going to want, well, for a lot of other reasons, the stock markets will crash. As sure as you're sitting there, your 401ks will go down to a small.
He's trying to make people afraid, saying anything he can about the stock markets at the very end there, trying to make people afraid of him losing, when the fact of the matter is the stock markets did crash. And the only reason that they are stable now is because the Fed is artificially sustaining it. The stock market crashed underneath Donald Trump, but that's neither here nor there. What we see is a concerted effort by Donald Trump to try to win back the white suburban mom vote. Before I play this next clip, I do have to just kind of dissect this a little bit. He almost inadvertently admitted that there is a correlation between poverty and crime. He couldn't go there, right? He could not say that because in America, we look at crime as something that is a moral failing, right? We don't look at it as a systemic failing. Right. The fact of the matter is the more resources you have, the less likely you are going to participate in crimes of desperation, crimes of survival. Right. Or crimes, even crimes of opportunity. A lot of people feel like crime is their only way out of their impoverished situation. So there's no question there is a correlation between poverty and crime, but America would never concede to that. And Donald Trump had his wits, his rather malevolent wits about him enough to never make that conclusion, because that would flip America on its head. I don't know many politicians who will actually make that conclusion, even though there are scientific studies that show, there's sociological studies that show that crime is an economic phenomenon, particularly the lack of economic power. So he wouldn't say that. But what he is trying to do instead is saying, hey, listen, those scary poor people, those scary black people are going to move into your. I stopped them. I stopped those scary black people who are poor from moving into your suburban neighborhoods, into your cul-de-sacs, and ruining your American dream. I stopped that. And that's what he believes is going to be his pathway back into the White House. Well, that's not working. And because people have seen very clearly who Donald Trump is. Now, mind you, I don't know why they didn't see it in the first place. I'm going to play a clip here of, and it's a little lengthy, but I just want you to hear some of the differing voices of suburban white moms. 6 of them, all of them voted for Donald Trump in 2016, and 3 of them are now saying they can no longer support Donald Trump. And you will see, not only based on this, but based on some of the data I'm going to give you afterwards, this is why Donald Trump is going full racist. Here's why it matters. It matters because if he can make this, if he can fearmonger his way into the hearts of these white women, then, I mean, honestly, this election is going to come down to white women. That's why it matters. Whether or not Donald Trump is going to be, a lot of people are trying to put the onus on black. There's not enough black Americans in this country to actually turn and save America from itself. Basically, not if 50% of white people support Donald Trump. It's just not, there's not enough black people to actually change this, to stop him from winning. We can help them win on the margins. Honestly, Democrats need all the black people in America to come out, 60% of us to come out, 90% of us to vote for the Democratic candidate in order to stop Donald Trump. Whereas if white folks, if you start helping your cousins and them come to the light of the fascism of Donald Trump, or away from the darkness of the fascism of Donald Trump, then you wouldn't be so dependent on black people saving America. But anyway, I digress. Here are several voices of former Trump supporters who now half of them do no longer support him.
I have no explanation for it. Being shot in the back, to me, is one of the worst things, because that means that you're retreating. And to shoot 7 times in the back, I don't understand it. I don't understand. And then he was shackled to his bed, his hospital bed, and his children were in his car. There's no explanation for it other than if he were white, that would not have happened.
Ahmaud Arbery was shot in the street in South Georgia. Are you going to sit there and tell me that that's not a racial thing? He was hunted down and shot like an animal. And it's okay.
Is that the case for
And it's okay by Trump supporters. And I'm done with that.
No, ma'am, not at all. And you're going
Yes,
out to
it is.
other cases. We're talking about the case at hand.
But
No president has ruined this country like he has. The unrest and the riots in the streets we haven't seen since the 1960s. He took this job and he's not taking it seriously. He watches TV, he is on Twitter, and he goes and he golfs.
He retweeted White Lives Matter, and he retweeted Black Lives Matter is the symbol of hate.
do you think that the fact that he's retweeting support for the 17-year-old who's been charged with double homicide, the fact that he's retweeting support at times for white supremacists, do you think that helps the unrest?
I think it's gotten worse.
Okay, that was, forgive the length of it, but I needed to make sure that you could hear it in context and you could hear the different voices. These are former Trump supporters. These are people, women, white suburban women who Donald Trump is doing his best to appeal to right now, making it clear that they've had enough of Donald Trump. Now, before I go too far on it, I have to just talk about the obvious. I don't know why they didn't see the fact that this man was a racist 4 years ago. Like, clearly, Donald Trump presented himself to be a racist, and I guess maybe there is a threshold. Maybe now they see that he's too racist for them, right? Maybe the initial racism was like, okay, oh, he's just being stupid or whatever, and he's not really going to govern that way. I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt, because for the rest of us, we saw Donald Trump for who he was the entire time. But now, suburban white moms and white women in general are breaking with Donald Trump. A recent ABC News Washington Post poll found that Trump is trailing Biden by 16 points amongst registered women voters. Broken down, Biden crushed the president among urban women, 69 to 27%, but held a much narrower advantage among suburban women, 54 to 41%. Still, Donald Trump is behind. He's losing this group, the 54% of white women that voted for him. But, again, I want to stress, though, there's a lot of pressure that's put on black communities to save this country. There's already conversations going on about, black men. Black men are going to be no. Black men are not going to be the defining feature of this election. Not based on the electorate that they so chose to gather, not the coalition that Obama and them put together, right? It's going to take white people. And it's going to take white women specifically. And it's going to take you all stepping up and voting in larger numbers and higher percentages than you did before, because quite frankly, you all are losing some of the black vote. Donald Trump is actually picking up some of the black vote because of that's an entirely different segment. I can go into that for days, but it does include the fact that neither party has done anything significant for the black community in the last 40, 50 years, right? And because a lot of these people who, besides those who are on his payroll, right? There's a lot of black folks that are on Donald Trump's payroll. But besides that group, there's another group that just kind of likes the fact that he's just kind of destroying this entire system. So that said, if you know that's happening and the polling is bearing that out, white folks, if you really want to get rid of Donald Trump, you better talk to your cousins and them, talk to your sisters and them, talk to your aunties and all them, get them right. And tear down that 54% and bring it down underneath the margin that will help get rid of Donald Trump, instead of sitting back and waiting on the black community to save you yet again.